actually revolve around Saigetsu very much. Like, he's on a Sage. Realistically, a lot of the time it's going to be on the defensive side where he has his value. So I think this, hopefully, for them won't make that much of a difference. I'm more looking at that defensive side. How much can they disrupt? How many problems can they cause these setups? And well, by the looks of it, they're going right in early on. Xiao already just shutting down this early push. Foxy, he swapped his gun multiple times, lands the instant headshot, and then gets traded out anyway.
Oh, not the ideal start for XIA on that aggression for sure. Now,
Where Angel is.
left to slow this down, stall it out, and look, with the lack of information that they've got, the vacuum left open, it's no surprise FPX are able to thread the needle a little bit.
Look at the X's on the map of where they died.
What do you mean X's? There's one X, Tom.
There's
I see
big
one
X.
blue and I see one red. I don't know what else you want me to go on.
One of them's
there.
a little bit more defined than the other
That's
one.
a little bit, yeah, a little bit of a deeper color there. Stalling it out 40 seconds, you're eventually going to have to gamble that. And XIA are making a little gamble of their own, right? They were spread out, they were playing on opposite sides, but now that turret's being taken back from A, and it looks like they're going to be stacked up on B. The right call is being made. Scary still on the back of the site. He's popping down a star as well. This could help get his teammate across, and Sushi Boys picks up one. This is winnable at this point, and FPX still don't know there's another player back site.
They don't have the time to rotate back around. The problem is with the stuns already coming through, it's not going to work out. And that's the thing. I don't mind the idea from XIA, but it's just basically what was expected by FPX. They play a slow default. They have a couple of players. They basically use their buddy system just to make sure that it's not going to be an easy trade either way. And if you're going to have Xiao hitting 2 instant headshots on players that look to run around the corner, the problem is as well, I feel like if you're going to make a push that deep, either you have to catch them off guard, which they didn't, or you have to commit to it at the same time, which they didn't.
Yeah. You know, how many Vandals? You got 3 Vandals and a Bulldog coming into this round. You know what? Me and Dubro's gonna have a chat about this one later. That's a heavy investment. That's pure confidence. And Artis already picking up one. He's walking around middle. Could have the Headhunter in his hand, but the Vandal dealing the damage, getting them those orbs early. And they've got a trap behind to cover their flank. This is perfect. They've got set up for post plan. Smoke down on the door as well. A little one-way. Probably a little early, if anything, because the door's still locked.
Yeah, I guess they're expecting it to break any moment, and it did. I guess the way they're looking at this is they were either going to run into the entire team early and have the rifles, or they were going to run into absolutely no one, which they did, and just have the sight. Now, already one player has gone down. They haven't lost a gun yet, which is fine, but any other kills that come in here is going to be a rifle dropping to the deck, but it doesn't happen. So FPX now go into this round. This is the benefit. It's obviously a risk. It's a big risk.
Into for FPX as they come in with 4 Vandals and a Bulldog. XIA, Odin in hand, looking to defend B main. It won't find anything off the rip, but I certainly respect the attempt.
Yeah, it was more so just to try and give Surf that little bit of extra space, and they are fighting both sides of the map. The extremities is where they're currently challenging, with the alarm bot currently waiting on the other side. Interestingly, actually using more of a lurk onto Xiao in this case. Like, they're just leaving him behind to try and almost catch anybody getting aggressive, spot anybody making a move into mid, but instead it almost just seems like gamble rotations, and Artis, well, not quite quick enough, as Scary's going to find the opener.
This is good. They've actually just avoided a Prowler, but they heard it on B main. So with Foxy going forward, seeing no one there, he's going to start to think that B could be a little lighter, and that opens up perfect timing for FPX, you would think, to walk through here. But that turret, it's going to get contact, and then in comes the spam, and this is where things get dangerous. He has gotten them. Able to refresh up another reveal, not going to quite catch them. The rest of the team towards the A side are looking to move there a little later. That's a devastating blow dealt right away. Good recovery with Angel finding one, but they still need to get to a site and get that planted. 30 seconds left, and he's gone pushing with an Odin through main. Alrighty.
Oh, Foxy's a bad man. I love that setup. It's so ratty. Just have the turret for contact, you don't risk any of your players, and then they're not going to be expecting that Odin to spam almost straight afterwards. No real way to escape, and a free kill in. Even up against such a strong, quote-unquote, bonus round, it is still a very convincing looking round coming out of the side of XIA, and they're going to be able to buy up comfortably into this one. So again, both teams with their full buy.
Foxy, you really know how to pull on my heartstrings. You know that, man? It's a beautiful thing, the little Killjoy setup on the turret, the reveal coming out of the fade, and no surprise, same thing's going to be going on here. This is something FPX are going to have to figure out relatively soon. Their bonus round, quote unquote. Ooh, that or's not ideal. Bonus.
He's just wide swung, and actually he hasn't been cleared, but Side with a nice couple of shots, quickly trading things back. This is not the place you normally see an Odin.
No, it's not. Probably not a favorable fight, but Cruz is coming behind with another. It's got Scary by his side. The whole team now with control over mid. But the spike has made it onto B. It snuck its way in. Artis up close. Oh no! He got revealed and no chance to get out. Xiao now has to dig deep for this 1v3.
One kill and he gets himself the ult. Maybe that will give him a chance. It needs to be quick and it's not quite quick enough. First kill going his way, but the trade is instantaneous. And while Xerxia, they managed to get 2 rounds in a row. And I'm liking the fact that, as was said at the beginning, FPX have some wonderful setups, some wonderful executions they could throw in to take the map. Xerxia have been nothing but disruptive. Pretty much the entire round. You look at the way it was kicked off by Surf, he's battling in mid. He's taking angles that ultimately you expect him to get 1 kill, dash out of there. Absolutely not. Still fighting. And then you even have the likes of Cruz wrapping around with a pop flash through mid.
Now you see down the bottom, FPX 5-0 on Ascent. This is certainly a map they're strong on, but the setup that they're facing from Xerxia here is causing them a lot of headaches. They know about the turret. I think they know about the alarm bot in mid as well. And this is where we should see FPX coming into the next round at least, trying to really deal with that and push this utility out of position. Already, actually, they're going to be moving towards middle. So whether they know about that alarm bot or not, they certainly do now.
He's going through. You know they're going through. Pop flash out. Xiao, though, is actually going to catch both of them. They expected it as well as we did, but the trades come back. Sushi Boys actually breaks the wall and manages to double up. Now Artis has retrieved an operator. They're going to make their way through on towards the A side, but they expect Sushi Boys to be here so soon. Absolutely not. Both players caught off guard, and well, he's going to close out with a 4K, an incredibly fast rotation, a brilliant read from Sushi Boys, and FPX, they are being caught round after round.
The heat map of this game will certainly look a little bit funky. Looking at FPX's play, going through middle, everything was working out for them, but how Sushi Boys is able to grab that double on mid,
well, they're too occupied. That's it. They were so occupied with... Oh, that's disgusting. Basically what happened was they were predicting that flank would come through from short. Watching in that direction, they get the kills and they go, well, I don't have to worry about that because my wall is down.
Yeah.
They were wrong.
Just perfect timing on that break. Xerxia.
They got all their ults.
Oh, Angel's so close to doubling up on that. He's going in for more.
He's not left.
The shot rings out. Angel knows he's still close, and he'll find him. That's Shorty not going to do the damage this time around. A double entry from the IGL as the A site falls, but the spike still needs to cross. Oh, Sushi Boys standing strong.
The others are. Some of the players are so far away on FPX at the moment, but luckily for them, Cruz has now found 2. This is what I mean. Look at where they are. Still looking to make the play through onto short. Oh, don't run out of bullets. I'm just looking at Sider's position and the wraparound slowly coming through. They know exactly where he is because of how much time he's just taken to get the kill. The thing is, though, he has vision onto the spike. Slow, gonna make things that little bit more awkward, but looking to just battle and brawl, and Sider will finally take him out. Cruz did as much as he could, but FPX get the round.
Yeah, it was wise of them to just let their teammate go. I guess they realized the trade was worthwhile. Zipan's life to be able to take that 2 versus 1 fight, and they trapped him underneath, slowed him down as well. Very nicely handled. Now, Tom, we've obviously seen Zipan pop the ult, right? He was on the floor and trying to recover himself, but there's a few more ults online coming into this round. So even though Xerxia are coming in with just some pistols and a weak buy, those trinkets are backed up by some pretty powerful artillery. I don't want to count them out of this one.
No. Well, this is why.
This is exactly why.
Jet knives of Surf, a man born without fear, as we've seen already throughout this map, and no surprise, looking to actually fight into middle. But you can see how calm and collected FPX are currently being, almost just trying to bait out some of those jet knives, give them an opportunity, and more importantly, give Artis the same opportunity to catch any of the aggression they're going for.
Yep, you can see the jump spot on mid, then a Prowler pushed up through the arch to allow Angel to re-peek there. Very much trying to make sure that Surf isn't around this area, and finding that he's not still here and not peeking, and nobody on Xerxia has been seen. going for any crazy swings. That tells you that at this point, they must have obviously conceded that control. They could be tucked up close, but the thing you know, they should push somewhere else. They should try to garner the information in other ways, and, well, they just have. They actually managed to spot at least one. I think it was just Cider that they saw.
Cover going on.
But that's causing the rotation. There's 4 players on B and another just about to be there.
He's actually gone for the wall up. It's going to give him quite a lot in terms of the angle. Cider has basically wiped out their whole team, but the one danger man is still left standing. So there should be no way out of this, and, well, only a couple of knives away from maybe ruining their day, but FPX will stabilize in the end. And actually, it was Cider's wall up that works. I think we've seen that in matchmaking since day 1 Ascent.
Yep, there it is, up on top, and they had actually seen him.
He got 3 kills from here.
Yep, they saw him, but they just didn't have the firepower to deal with him. I think on the other side then, right, just a little bit late to the party, they had a 4-stack on B, but Surf kind of rotating around, jump spotting mid, trying to see what he could get done there. He's a little late, he updrafts, grabs 2 kills. It means the damage isn't, like, negligible,
they're prepared for this push. Instant paranoia. The thing is, though, the counter utility's solid. The problem is their own utilities kind of got stuck along the way. Angel will take that control, and although the push looked like it could have got them something, instead, they're going to be forced all the way back, hit out by the utility, but still fighting into this one.
Cruz has been so impressive so far, that utility on point, and he's even picked up the opening. And as they try to recover it, well, there is absolutely nothing going their way in these duels. Chow relying on Angel finding this flank secure, and Surf is well and truly taking him down. This seems to be a lost cause. Maybe try to make it costly in some facets, but that is impossible.
No. No, in fact, it's a Prime Gaming flawless coming out for the side of Xerxia. Again, it does seem to be the case that whenever Surf gets his operator in play, the complete dynamic of the game just changes. He's so good at just shutting down angles. But I also just like the fact that you have that push, it fails completely. You then even have the Nightfall thrown out by Xiao, which is obviously going to leave you without sound, without basically anything. And what do? They face. They're like, okay, well, I might have lost the ability to hear, but I can just focus in on that one choke point that you're pushing through.
With 4-4 on the board, operator on Surf. No surprise, going to be what's looking to open this up, but we saw the shrouded step from Angel across to the other side. An unexpected angle. No way he's going to walk into this one. Certainly not walking out of it. Scary. Already doubling up, and Sushi Boys comes in to grab another. That is absolutely fantastic. For an opening duel that went so well, they dealt with Surf, the main danger man on this roster. But it looks like on this map, Sushi Boy's got a little something of his own.
But that's the thing. Both him and Scary seem to play so aggressively for agents that a lot of the time are used as sight anchors. Like, you think of the way that most people play cages, like, I've got my little turret, peeks over on B, that'll take contact, then I got my alarm, but if they run through it, oh, look, I got my nano swarms, then I'll run.
And again, that's going to be true. Sushi Boys this time moving around through short. And it's going to be Scary on mid. That's looking to duel it up. He's been spotted and he's caught. Cider running out in the open. That's nice and easy. No wall to go up this time around. And no players to fall on the side of Xerxia. A Prime Gaming flawless. And that's a statement made.
I really love the way that they play off of each other. Like, there's moments where you might have Cruz in a 1v1 duel, but the second they realize that he is the focal point, every other member of the team is like, okay, now I make my move, now I make my move. Like, there's not even a second's notice of like, okay, I need to be peeking here to make sure I'm helping out my teammates. And, okay, sure, he does the majority of the work in the early stages, but that's where, well, you could see basically 4 members of their team are in mid at the end just to make sure they work together.
I don't know what round they got all these ults online in. All I know is I said it very early on that they had 5, and they used the Surf one, and that was it.
Can we get like a nice little stat of how many rounds in a row they've had 4 ults? I want to say it's like 4 or 5 now.
It must be 5, I'm going to go with. There's been very patient play out of Xerxia, and they haven't needed it for the most part. Although going in for some incredibly aggressive pushes, considering, yeah, like you said, with these ults online, you'd expect a retake play. Still not going to really see that. Maybe the A-site retake, but you've got Nano Swarms down, got your alarm bot for short as well. Look at this global utility out of Sushi Boys. This is not, oh, I'm locking down B with my util, I've got it. No, Sushi Boys is helping every site. He's facing mid, holding B main with the turret, and holding short with an alarm bot. And if they come A main, Tom, the one other place, well, I've got some Nano Swarms ready for him on the site.
Yeah, I'm ready for the plant. Honestly, that's if they somehow manage to get past Surf, which alone is difficult enough. They're going to run straight in onto that alarm bot, so information is there. Surf getting out of this is going to be difficult, but actually Zipan goes a little bit wide. Lightning fast on the second shot, and he's going back for more. Finally, I think someone made the call like, yep, you remember,
Guys, we've got 4 ultimates. You might not need to fight this one.
We can retake this one time. They have got the res off, and now they're going to be looking to plant it. Shao. One popping it down. Nightmare on its way. This could be a little bit awkward, but FPX, they have no trouble in the duels, at least to start with. Left into a 3v2, and another crazy shot by Cruz. One player locked out. Artis has been hurt up close. He's being pushed on top of the wall, but Artis finds a triple out of it. Cruz, not known to be up top. That flash, it's crazy, and it's worked out. He now even knows the player's gone towards heaven after not being detected. Halfway stuck, he's going all the way. That is ambitious, that is brave, and well, he obviously thought he'd gone further into short. What a round.
I felt like every kill that Xerxia got in this round could have been put in a highlight reel. Like you have the first couple of kills coming out from Surf, Cruz as well, like to just ridiculous second shot, and then the pop flash as well was just sick. But this man, basically in the backline, saving them throughout this round was Artis. Huge from him, and that's the thing. Did he just, no, almost doubled his kills. He got 4 in that round. This was so sick.
Enemy remaining.
That is one hell of an ambitious play, and it's just that little bit of misinformation, right? Player was on short,
going to be utilized by Artis going into this round, and Surf also has his Blade Storm in his back pocket ready.
Ready to rumble. And I mean, it's always good to have that little bit of a safety net. Xerxia certainly ones that are content with using it, or with keeping it in the back pocket, the safety net being there for them the entire half.
Okay.
That's a good punish. Something that's been lacking in the majority of rounds. Artis in with the scope to equalize things.
Well, what's really interesting is they have 4 players in mid until Surf dies, and then it's like, right, plan over, everybody leave. Like, without that focal point, but they did leave Scary behind. Again, not the normal point for an Astra, and in fact, he's playing the big brain game. He's left Artis to walk past. His teammates are not going to peek off of this. He's just making sure that nobody goes down on the other side, but he buys enough time that they still just have all of this information. Even going to lock them in onto short here, with them having nowhere to go but forward.
Right on into the stack, and still a nanoswarm waiting for them. That plant's not going to be easy to secure.
They have a lockdown.
Oh, I think they're just outside of it, so that plant's pretty easy to secure, but it is the lockdown that's the real thorn in the side here, having to concede control over the site. Xerxia pop into Cosmic Divide as well, so at this point,
they can't break it.
You're done.
But Xiao's just hitting every single shot. The problem is he's going to be detained. And his teammate's already down. I thought they were going to knife him for a second just to close out the half, but no. They are kind in their mercy. A brilliant round again from Xerxia. Finally, they actually used some of those ultimates, you know? That lockdown that was there for the entirety of the
close his half out.
Well, it's time to kick off that second half, Tom. I have to echo what was said on the desk. I don't know if 7 is going to be enough for Xerxia, but this pistol will certainly help them out. Already looking for a bit of control around mid. These guys like to fight it a lot on the defense, so no surprise. But it looks like FPX, they've got some of the same ideas. They're actually just dominating with Angel on this Ghost. He's taken 3 kills, and just like that, the pistol round seems to be completely out of their grasp. Good damage done, but Angel will find a 4th.
Yeah, I believe that's now both pistols heading in FPX's favor. A huge round from Angel, and maybe trying to take a leaf out of the book of Xerxia. Okay, you can fight mid every single round. Well, maybe we'll give it a go as well. I will say that, again, I think that I'm looking to Xerxia to prove again that they can almost do things more so on this attack and base their play around Surf, because he definitely struggled more so in the last map. But I do think we're in a pretty even scenario here. As I said, I think the FPX have always been incredible on their attack sides of this map, and Xerxia did an incredible job just to basically disrupt them all the way through. So I want to see what they've got, if they've got a plan to do the same thing versus that defense.
Early aggression from FPX. It's like they want them to think that they're inside a wine, want them to maybe swing around behind that smoke. And that might be coming through. Oh my god, I've seen Foxy jumping through the smoke from up top, from the top rope. A good idea, but not one that's yielded them any results. This is a strong round out of FPX. Clock themselves to 7-7. But this is where the real trouble begins.
Well,
you know, regionally, Xerxia are pretty strong on the attack as well. I just don't know how it translates.
The thing is as well, like we've just seen the sort of polar opposite to what we had in the last half where they bought into all of the rifles. They've now gone where a couple of players have saved up the cash so they can invest into the rifles in this one. So there's still going to be some danger going into this bonus round for Xerxia. I'm mainly looking at the likes of Angel, who's managed to get so many kills over the last couple of rounds that he's actually going to have a Vandal here.
Yeah, it's no surprise to see FPX with some stronger weapons coming into round number 3. Zipban has the ability to duel on range. He's holding a main right now, Angel, in towards a short, but it's the B site that's going to have all this pressure, so a lot of the weaker weapons about to be challenged as they make their way through. Cider, Vandal in hand on the back side, supported by Xiao. They've got to do, I mean, a lot of work up against these Vandals. The wall's going to at least delay them a little bit, the slow as well, and I like Xiao's position. You know, if this is going to be a little bit of a distraction play from Cider, this could work out massively, especially with Angel now tucked close in that smoke. I think Xerxia are pumping the brakes, realizing that FPX might be ready to crunch on them if they do just go willy-nilly into the site. They're trying to at least clear out some of the room first.
Just about able to escape that corner, spam through, going to be spotted, and Surf, a little bit risky. I don't think they'll expect the rifle to be at the back of the site though. Cider already getting one on the close position, a lot of damage done, but he goes down. Surf, 2 quick headshots, trade back from Artist though. And now the remaining 2 locked into the site. I think it's been realized by Foxy that they need to almost reclaim a little bit of extra control, not allow the build-up to come back through from FPX.
Especially with Zipban alive and that utility, they've got to take the fight to them. Zipban about to be pushed on from around the smoke, and Surf's got 4! Unbelievable! We question this guy with a rifle. We know he can do it with an op in hand, but he has certainly stepped up in the moment of need.
I think as well, even though this was a lot of damage, you have to bear that in mind. FPX, yeah, they invested into a couple of rifles, but ultimately they can still purchase into this next round and comfortably. The Blade Storm is going to save Xerxia here because they are able to have Surf basically play that alongside a pistol, and then they can juggle some weaponry around to make sure that everybody's still in a pretty decent position. The main game changer though in this round though is going to be Artist. Like we didn't really get to see a massive amount of, well, I guess from what we've seen from him normally on the chamber thus far, but he should be able to do it on the defense.
They beat the smoke. You don't see that all too often. Surf just running around the corner to take Zipban and then jumping past and off. I mean, very successful early round thus far. Confidence that's paying off at least. But the rotation they've dragged from FPX, B's completely open.
They're going to get a rifle as well. Like that's the thing. This is basically just a free upgrade for him. The Prowler actually doesn't reach, but I think Xiao, he hasn't rotated or anything. And actually, look where his teammates are. They started to push up mid, but they've been caught by Foxy in a pretty rough position now. In fact, I think Artist is dead. He'd have to get the timing almost spot on, and he catches him through the air. So damn accurate. And while it leaves just one man to defend this Xiao here from the beginning, and he will be there at the end.
The Xiao show ending early this time around. That was a strong round from Xerxia. Surf swing on A main, speedy as can be, and it just didn't seem to stop. That shot on the Artist was utterly disgusting. There's a reason this man is 18-11 right now. You know, we'd sit back and we'd sit there and say, hey, you know what? With an operator, this guy's great, but he just seemed to do it with something else. Well, there's the rifle, there's the ult. I mean, I don't think I can question him too much more right now. This attack's certainly off to a fantastic start for him.
Well, that was always the worry. Like, we saw this roster when they had Padipan, and it was like, is that person going to be replaceable? Like, he was so good when we saw him at international events. Surf is up there. Surf is definitely up there. Same sort of just individual flair that you need from your Jet player if you're still going to be running a Jet. Like, he needs to be able to put up these numbers, especially with that Blade Storm. And as said, that was their economy saver. That was the problem they had going into that round, that without that Blade Storm, thereby stank. And instead, it ends up actually winning them the round.
Now, Zipban attempted this peek earlier and was absolutely destroyed by Surf. It looks like, coming into the minute left on the clock range, we're going to get that same peek once the smoke is dissipated. This time Surf with the rifle in his hand instead of the Blade Storm, but he's only up against the Sheriff. As you can see, pretty easy time on that. Making sure to clear wine. They're going to go for control over site. Here's the dash through, but there are 2 players here. The Headhunter finding nothing.
Oh, it's not gone well, that's for sure. Finally, we'll get one with the Classic, and Cider's hoping to get anything he can here. Xiao still with an SMG to play with, but they are being mowed down. 10-7. Xerxia now in an incredibly strong spot on this attacking side, and while we're starting to get to the end of this map for FPX if they don't manage to take this round.
Like I said, Xerxia regionally a strong attacking team, but there was always going to be that question of how does it translate? You know, what do those regional victories mean on the international stage? But right here, there's got to be no doubt about it. Xerxia are able to bring that same level. 3 rounds ahead and close to closing this out, and we have to remember this is FPX's map pick. You know, after an incredible bind, a very solid performance, we knew they weren't going to come in and look flat, but this is an impressive step up from this attacking side as they move out quickly. Surf's confidence only seems to be compounding.
Yeah, again, like Xiao, it's just such a horrible position to be in. He's got the entirety of their squad just running in and the rest of the team so far away. Just being able to isolate those early duels and just, at the moment at least, they can't keep up. Angel, well, he's just having to spin around, can't hear a damn thing, and well, Artis was hoping to put this tour de force to work. He's at least found what. Look at where Surf is.
Yeah, that's not an angle.
Who's pre-aiming this angle?
Not Artis, that's for sure. 11 rounds on the board now for the attack. FPX have got to be sweating. You can be your map pick and all that, but Xerxia showing that they're here to play. The answer has to be immediate. I wouldn't be surprised to see a pause coming out from FPX after this, just because
Flash was so, he must have gone over it. Like that. Do you realize how ridiculous your setup has to be?
One Artis, everybody else playing in with some seriously weak weapons, light shields all around. On the defensive side, there's some opportunities for these weaker weapons for sure, but chance for Xerxia to have 5 opportunities to close out this map, Tom. If they win this one here, and that's what FPX are almost conceding. They're allowing that to happen. Certainly speaks to confidence in their defensive side. Let's see if they can make this one costly. At the very minimum, they've gotten themselves into wine. This is a position they've been very cautious of before. Artis, though, with the 1 rifle. Okay, only good for 1.
Playing through their own Cosmic Divide. I don't know if they expected this to be clear or the player on the other side to be blind, but that has worked out awfully on the other side. They have the information of where Foxy's going to be. You can even see the trap being placed into mid. Xiao just making his move all the way over to the other side, knowing that that rotation hasn't come through. Orb going to be taken for Foxy, but he is trapped.
This 1v2. Almost impossible. The angles that he has to clear, but he's deciding to go to spawn wisely. Cost him a little bit more time, but it's worthwhile to avoid peeking through mid. Those steps might
30 seconds left.
Be heard. No, he's just about far enough away by the looks of things. There it is, though. He heard him. He heard him now for sure. That information there to play with. Good early peek. He has got to be careful not to go out too early. And Xiao's got it down to a T. Early rotation from Cider. He won't get here in time. 10 seconds left, though. Maybe they can delay it down just by rushing. Can they see him? Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to just keep going left and right. Like, oh, you're not going to plant, are you? That could have been awkward, but there you go. An 8th round found for FPX. I had 0 faith in this one. And it's Zipbound with 3 kills on the Sheriff that gets them. It's the, going through their own Cosmic.
It's the duality of the Cosmic Divide. This, I have no idea why that was the plan. You're up against an eco round. You know you're up against an eco round, and your plan is to run through your own Cosmic Divide without a flash.
And it's not like, look, if there was 15 seconds left,
no,
I'm there. All right, I get it. But there was a lot of time, man.
It's always been the case with Cosmic Divides. We saw it all the time when Astra was played more regularly. Like, the amount of times teams would lose off the back of their own Cosmic Divide, and that's basically what's happened in that round.
Artis has got that operator, as we saw. He attempted some mid-aggression, but got pushed back off the angle. Now he's over towards the B side, and that's perfect. That's what Xerxia want. They're gearing up for A after faking it out a little bit. Still that Prowler coming up through mid, smoke on top mid. They're really trying to tell these players that they're fighting for that control. But it looks like FPX are starting to get suspicious of it as well, Tom. And with this trap down on mid, I think that's the main point for them. They haven't seen anything around there, and with the utility that was put through, it almost telegraphs that this is going to be an A play.
Instantly we see the ultimate pop. It's going to take away any utility that could have been there to try and slow them down. XIA, once getting into these after plants, have been pretty good, and I can't say I remember a particularly strong retake coming through, except for in the 2v1 that we just saw. There's a lot for FPX to try and find here, and while they're hoping that maybe Artis can get a little bit lucky with the shots, it hasn't happened. Instead, Xiao being pressured, being pushed, and they are isolating these duels one by one. A man advantage taken, and still so much to find. And while Zipan has just been slaughtered, it's left all on to Cider. No time to really get his teammate back from the fray, and, well, the clock already ticking quite far.
A great flank protection by Foxy. He was down on A long, sat there for the entire round, just covering it, and eventually I think he might have just caught the steps over on short, used that as the trigger point to go straight back through. And it's also, because he's holding that flank, and you've got Heaven being watched by your Jet, these three players say, all right, you know, we're not going to sit here and wait for them to do something. Let's push through short, take the fight to them.
That's always been the thing. FPX are great if they're given the time to actually have their setups. They're one of the teams that loves to run that clock down and then play back into it. But in this case, XIA are just not allowing them. I feel like they've played almost a perfect counter card. Cider, though, I don't know how he gets away with anything there. I'd completely blinded up, sticks around, and Surf loses his head.
I think Surf tried to beat the Sage slow, like dash through it, or maybe he was just wide swinging the entire time. Either way, an impressive connection by Cider that leads them into the man advantage. FPX, though, with some good control, but it's been spotted. Xiao, yeah, he's going to give that.
Why? I don't understand. You already know he's there. Don't even give him the opportunity to try and take that shot, but wall down. You can see the patience from XIA. Not wanting to overextend, but also not wanting to allow that map control to be kept a hold of. Foxy, he's actually going to lose that battle as well. Xiao more than happy to just stick that fight out, and now with the pressure coming in onto the B side, there's still 3 players here just because of the control that Xiao was able to hold.
And there's your information as well. Zipan's knife just landing and revealing, I think, 3 of them.
Teleport's ready. 30 seconds left.
Ready for them to flank back through mid, another star going down. That could be problematic. If they can smoke themselves out, get themselves a little bit closer, or is it even going to be the fake? No. Oh, it is the fake. Okay. It's dropped, and Zipan's able to trade out one Cider up close. There's Spike, and with this, the round is done and dusted. There were way too many players to deal with. 12 to try to spray him down. Let's see.
Look at both teams. We basically got 8 of the players all building up into the exact same position. Very quick stuff from Surf, and already he's going to open up, but there's no trade there. In fact, it's Cider holding the line. The flash is so good, though, from Cruz. Maybe a little delayed to help out his teammates, but it's done enough to give them the site.
That it has. A plant now secured. XIA with the man advantage. They're close to taking FPX's map pick and pushing us all the way to Haven. Cruz, he's really just been lights out so far. This guy's impressive. And you might look at that 14 to 16, right? It's like, oh, he's not like fragging like crazy, but it's the flashes, man. I think his utility has been just on point from the get-go, even in the previous map. Now, still with a little bit of it left, that nade's gonna slow them. A great little contain. Angel can't do a thing. And a reload out of Zipan even after swapping weapons. They're ready for him, and they're taking him down. 13 to 9. XIA take map 2. They've guaranteed themselves a Haven.
Yeah, and honestly, a map that I think could go either way. They were really solid in this ascent. I think the defensive side traps that they were setting, the fact that they were able to dislodge and almost just cause problems for FPX throughout this map. And then it came to that attack side, and just what they were able to do to set up Surf. Cruz had a worldie of a performance on the KO. I don't even think it was a competition between the 2 of them. And yeah, again, showing that they're a team that we can never underestimate. FPX are going to have to really have something up their sleeve for Haven, because I am starting to worry for them here.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to see some of those cracks form, but, you know, starting out Bind, I think that FPX losing the rounds they did in that first half was their fault. They made mistakes. This time, I don't think it's that. XIA look incredibly impressive throughout this map. They earned that victory, and with this being their opponent's map pick, it completely changes everything that we thought about this. You know, you come into this series, FPX, probably your favorite. XIA have a chance, but a lot of it relied on someone like Surf showing up. And after that first map, I wasn't fully confident. After seeing him here on the Jet, though, I can't doubt the man. He just put up numbers time and time again.
Yeah, if you're top of the board, 23 and 15, and you have 7 first bloods, I feel like if your team are losing you that game, then it's definitely not your fault. So, yeah, great resurgence from Xerxia, bringing this one back to a third and final map. And honestly, I think this is where this series deserved to go, especially after the first one.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you. When you get an OT, and the OT that we did out of that first map, you certainly want to see it go all the way. And the Haven, do you think that that's going to play as a proper middle ground between these two teams?
I think it could. I almost worry if it gets to the point, it could be going in Xerxia's favor at this point. But we'll have to wait and see. Luckily, there are some big brains waiting in the wings to actually tell us what's going to happen. Obviously, they're brilliant at their prediction. Isn't that right, Joe? So let's head it over to them.
I'm that plug out what you need. Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Quitting was never an option. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.